But you know, Claudia, when it comes to sitting down for a meal with your family, or maybe you're going to attend a big holiday get-together, there might be some confusing items at your table.
There's always confusing items
like
at the table.
Fork. So for example, if someone came up to you after dinner and they offered you a digestif, would you know what that is?
No.
What about an
aperitif? Aperitif?
Yes, or maybe a charcuterie?
No.
Do you know what any of these things are?
Where are you getting these words from, Shelley?
I'll tell you what. Well, to make sure we are all on the up and up, our etiquette expert, Diane Gottsman, is here to help.
We're going to...
Hi, Diane. It's a good thing you're here, because I don't even know if I'm saying those things right, and I clearly have no idea what half of them are. So what are these?
So they are liquor. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, good.
So,
oh, my favorite.
An aperitif is what you get when you are networking and mingling at the cocktail party. And what it does is it gets your palate ready for the food. So it's some kind of dry white wine. It could be a martini. It could just be an early drink before dinner.
An early dinner drink. Okay.
Now, a digestif it does exactly what it says it does. It digests your food.
Oh.
So it could be a little nip of brandy, a little bit of whiskey, something that settles your stomach after the meal.
Okay.
You know, that's not really why people drink this, but that's what it is meant for.
Okay, got it.
Now, do you know this right here in the center is called a charcuterie tray?
Okay, I have to confess, that is the one I do know because it involves meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese. And it's cured meat, but you can put whatever you would like on it. You know, so you could put some ham, some turkey, of course some fruit and nuts, and sometimes, and I put blocks of cheese, but this was just for ease. You can cut it up for them.
Sure.
But you know, it's just a nice little display that's going to blunt their appetite before your big, beautiful meal.
I love it. Okay, so now I'm going into my holiday meal with a little more knowledge, but we're going to take it further because we're going to talk about passing. When everyone's sitting around the table, it takes about 20 minutes to get everyone's plate set up.
Yes.
Which way? Are you allowed to like just go here and there?
No,
or is there a system?
you're not allowed. You have to go to... So here is the gravy. I'm going to pass it to the right.
To the right?
And notice it's counterclockwise.
I was going to say, that's not the right way. I guess.
Notice how the handle is facing the person.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
Instead of, you know, spilling on their tray. Okay, so I'm passing everything to the right. I'm passing salt and pepper to the right. I'm passing bread to the right.
Okay.
You know, not by my hand, the bread basket, but everything is passed counterclockwise.
Okay, got it. God, better make note of that.
Counter to what you were thinking.
I know,
you were
clearly.
Thinking, yes,
it's going to go this way.
So just remember that, counter to what you were thinking.
I want to take a look at this table setting because I learned something from you years ago that I've shared with my kids, and we do it all the time. Whenever we're at like a fancy restaurant, no one knows which glass is there, and no one knows which bread is there.
So children need to learn this, and executives need to learn this. Make a B and make a D. And your bread plate is always on the left. Your drink will always be on the right because you're making a little B for bread and D for drink.
Like that.
Like that.
Right? There's my bread, and
there's
this is my
drink. And if someone is drinking from your wine glass or your water glass or your tea glass, do not play wine or water or roulette.
Okay.
So you just, if you're at a restaurant, you would ask the server for another glass. When you're at someone's home, you know, you just do what you have to do. If everybody's drinking from the wrong glass, you say nothing and drink from theirs.
Sounds good. Okay, so this is a typical holiday table setting. Usually you see more parts to your table setting than you do. Are all these things important? Do they all have a use?
Well, they all have a use. And, you know, this is on Pinterest, and you can download this on Pinterest. But you always eat from the outside in. So you start outward. So you would have your salad first.
Okay.
Then you would have your main, your entree.
Okay.
And up above here, and this over here, is your teaspoon.
This is my teaspoon?
Because I'm not serving soup at my meal today.
Oh, okay.
If I was serving soup, I would have a big, wide bowl spoon.
Got it.
And that's how I would sip my soup, and I would sip backwards. I would spoon backwards.
Okay.
Now, above the place setting is the coffee spoon.
Okay.
And it's the dessert fork.
Oh, okay. And the bread?
This is the bread plate to the left. And the way that you butter bread is you butter one piece at a time. So you break apart one piece at a time. And if I had butter here, I would butter one piece at a time and eat one piece at a time.
I have
you
a
don't
question.
pick this up
and
like
just go,
a big muffin.
Okay, so say you're at a fancy whatever and you've got, you know, your little butter parts. And
yes.
in that butter dish is the little butter knife, just one.
Yes.
So what do? I take the butter with that little knife and put it on my plate?
And you put it on your plate.
And then I use my regular knife to spread it, or my personal butter knife.
And which way would you pass that little vessel, that little plate full of butter? Do you remember?
This way, counterclockwise. Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Well, this is fantastic. I live by the B&D, and I hope that helps you at your next fancy dinner. This is great. You can find a place setting like this, like Diane said, on Pinterest. And of course, if you've got questions, Diane Gottsman is an etiquette expert here in San Antonio with the Protocol School of Texas. You can find her online, dianegottsman.com, and on Facebook as well.